Welcome back to Anime Fight Club, everyone. My name is Grim. Today we're checking out Baki Dou Part 1, or Musashi Dou. We're going to check out chapters 45 through 48. Chapter 45, entitled Weapon. What I really want to see isn't the strongest man in the world, nor the strongest creature on the planet. What I want to see is the strongest living thing in this planet's history. It started the instant I knew of his existence. This transcends an era. It transcends history. Two fools fighting against one another until one of them is no more. So here we have, I'm not sure where Retsu is, but he's taking the brunt of someone's roundhouse kick to the face. And it's current because he has his peg leg. So he takes that kick, does a backflip out of it. Lands on his feet, but he's still spinning and turning, trying to keep his posture good, and Retsu's just standing there. Dude dashes back in on Retsu, throws a couple punches. Retsu blocks his left. Looks like a dude's about to throw a kick. Throws a knee to Retsu's chin. It appears as though Retsu takes that attack. His head goes back. Dude looks surprised that Retsu didn't dodge or anything. Looks like maybe Retsu did another backflip. Landed back on his feet. Yep. I landed that. I got him with that and all my other attacks. Why doesn't he go down by now? I think Retsu's moving like in the same direction as this dude's attacks, like taking the force away from him. Damn, this guy, he's got such a hard physique, but it's like he's a feather. Goodness, so Retsu throws a straight right to this dude's abdomen, forcing him to shriek in pain. And Retsu maintains that stone look on his face as Buddy buckles and then hits the ground. It says Shaolin as he waves his hand. By conditioning bone, striking flesh, and forging the skin, the body can be transformed into a strong wall. One that can effectively withstand unarmed blows. You gentlemen are familiar with this process up until this point. But that process cannot be regarded as a technique. Those considered high-level evasion techniques are worlds apart from achieving a static muscle wall. So how are they achieved then? You need to become this. A feather, Buddy says. I knew it. You may not feel it, but there is an unconscious strength that lies within the body. In the muscles, the bones, the tendons, it remains deep in the body, stiff, and completely inaccessible. When we remove this stiffness, the wall of hard flesh gradually takes on the adaptability of a bag of ice. It then becomes as precarious as a piece of Japanese writing paper, and before long, it becomes like a feather. If you become as soft as a feather, then the wall isn't there anymore, and neither the wind, nor bullets, nor missiles. None of these will have any effect on you. The perfect form of Shaolin Wushu. He blows on the feather to demonstrate it in action. If you truly become a feather, takes this sword out of nowhere. There's no indication anywhere on his body that he has a weapon on him. He reaches behind his back and pulls out this sword out of nowhere. Swings it. Awesome slash. There's light shining on his little audience. Not even a blade can cut you. So he hit the feather. It was even on the end of the blade. But it's unharmed. So that's definitely what Retsu needs, considering he's about to fight Musashi, who is a world-renowned swordsman. Chapter 46, Wave. Nido Ryu. Musashi's not the only one that mastered that style. Dope. So Kaku's here holding two blades, the same hand posture that Musashi uses. Starts spinning these blades awesomely. They're the same type of blades that Retsu keeps on him. It's the same style, yet it's different somehow. Japanese swordsmanship is straightforward, and it puts all thought into a single sword. It's the embodiment of stillness, lively to the point of being sporty. Chinese swordsmanship is the embodiment of movement. Goodness, so Kaku taps this blade on the ground and changes his posture with it. He uses that to flip, further showing you what all the swords can be used for. Lands on his tippy toes. Katsumi and the other apprentice are both just like at a loss for words, while Retsu is just watching intently. Using sharp attacks, using an elegant defense. As you do karate, you've heard this before, right? The essence of Chinese martial arts, passed down from long ago, comes from the concept of a crane trying to kill a snake. This is a proverb that gives an insight into this way of fighting. The snake cannot deal with the beak. Becoming impatient, it lashes out, but it's all useless against the dance of the crane as it flaps its wings. Before long, it's all over. That's not good. Elegantly evading. That remains effective in unarmed combat. It must really be something to have somebody this old and wise teaching you anything. But the elegant dance will be stopped the moment somebody decides to use a sword. Retsu, stand up. Retsu stands up. Become a wave. Prepare your heart and body to flow and sway. Become a feather. And in the face of Kaku, Retsu has started sweating. Closes his eyes, prepares to, I guess, become a wave. If you can avoid my sword, even Musashi won't be able to cut you. I'm ready, master. So now we cut to Musashi still wielding Tokugawa's beautiful family sword. The one that he said should be good enough, which is wild still. I want to see his swords. What were you using back then? Has he become a samurai? Classical painting? Motionless for so long. What kind of training is that? So Musashi's sitting there as the wind's blowing. The wind takes some leaves off of a tree branch. The leaves begin to fall and rustle throughout the wind as it falls in front of Musashi. And in that instant, Musashi reaches, draws his sword, prepares his grip, and slashes this leaf as it's falling. An incredibly awesome cut. Now this should still have very, very close properties to a feather as far as it floating around in the wind and whatnot. So he continues swinging this blade with serious intensity. Cuts the same leaf before it's hit the ground. So he's cut it twice before it's managed to fall. And what a strike. You see his foot still moving to get into position. I love the illustration. All of this is moving incredibly fast. He sheathes the sword, says, closes it all the way. Is he not satisfied? Says Tokugawa. Become a feather. Chapter 47. What does that even mean? Is that what this is? Oh, he's out of breath. So as awesome as Retsu is, I mean, we know how dope Kaku is. He was able to fight Yujiro and survive. He's taught Retsu several lessons. As you can see, Retsu has been cut up several times by this man Kaku, so Retsu has not been able to become a complete feather just yet. Do people really do this? Katsumi thinks. Retsu Kaioh, the fighting prodigy. Here I come. Kaku leaps forward while holding this giant blade. Goes to swing it at what looks to be his throat. Swings it. Retsu appears to not move, like he allows the sword to hit him. And then he spins like a feather. Chapter 47. He cut him for real. I don't know, because he's spinning on his toe like this, ballerina style. Lands, takes his pose, making a fierce sound as his foot stomps the ground. All those slashes, and he was never cut. I saw it, and I still don't believe it. So this must just be an indentation of the blade, just like what was left on Doppo. The second attempt was better than the first. The third better than the second. Retsu Kaioh, the fighting prodigy, on only his fourth attempt, has become a true feather. So that's dope. It only took him 4 times. Retsu takes his bowing position. Kaku says, magnificent. Katsumi and the other dude exhale, surely realizing it'll take them a little bit longer. You can tell from the ki and just by looking, when the body doesn't go against the swordsmanship, but flows with it like a natural force. Becoming a feather, feet, hands, the whole body is like the wind. Oh wow, did Kaku just walk up to this man and hug him? Out of sheer appreciation for his prodigious talent. You've done well with this bulky body of yours. Your Shaolin Wushu training is finally complete. Now we finally stand as equals, my friend, Master Retsu. Acrobatics? Sure. So those are big words coming from Kaku, saying that Retsu and he are on the same level. They're equals. That's dope. Motobe walks in, gaining everyone's attention. Retsu's dripping in sweat. Motobe says, you're going to face Musashi's sword with pirouettes? Ooh, how perfect. How perfect. I just said ballerina Retsu. And here comes Motobe talking about, you're going to fight Musashi with pirouettes? Pirouettes is a ballerina move in which they spin with their hands on their heads and all that other stuff. Katsumi stands up. Mr. Motobe, 4,000 years of Chinese fighting history evolved into this? It's absurd. This is funny. Like, I've never, like, Motobe has not had like a super strong moment in my eyes in this series yet. So if this is like, for him to be coming at these A and S class tier fighters, it kills me, because I haven't seen where his basis for this arrogance is just yet. Also, since there's no dialogue here, I'll let you guys enjoy this as I ask a question. I started Baki, the anime. Like, I did season 1, 2, then 3. After season 3, I started the new Grappler Baki manga, and you guys can see that in the playlist below. I want to ask you guys, would you like me to go through the entire beginning of new Grappler Baki, also known as Hanma Baki, because I didn't go through that. We can look at the differences in the manga as well as the anime as we go through it. But I'll need some feedback from you guys, because I mean, we'd basically be starting the entire thing over. But I mean, we didn't cover that, so it'd be worth it. But I want to know if you guys are interested in that or not. So please leave a comment below answering that question. Do you guys want the complete origin story? Baki as a kid, saying his mother died, all that in manga form. The Yasha ape, everything. So this begins chapter 48. Entitled You Surpass Me. We had Miyamoto continuing to practice in the forest. Wow, holding it in my hands. It's so long and heavy, but you draw it very well. So here's Tokugawa's actually holding his own sword for once. What's more, you do it so fast it can't be seen. How do you do it? It can't be done by drawing with the hand. The key is in the hips. This is the only way. Otherwise, it's too slow. Chapter 48. You surpass me. Mr. Retsu, you can't be possibly thinking seriously on carrying a strategy like that. Are you really going to nullify the sword of such a master swordsman with those circus-like acrobatics? I say, as a martial artist who values the old Japanese styles, he figured out Motobe was with just a glance. Do you contest my approving of his completed Shaolin Wushu training? Oh my goodness, so now they're challenging each other. Like, Kaku sized this man up real quick and basically saying, are you saying that I don't know what I'm talking about? Because I can show you I know what I'm talking about. Opens his eyes. How many times have we seen Kaku's eyes open? It may be the case. After all, it's Chinese. I don't understand Chinese martial arts. But what I really understand, a duel. That is to say, someone's going to die. That was the only thing that held true in his time, no matter the level of fight. And Kaku gets serious again. The modern friendly martial arts where you can do it again and again without caring if you win or lose are totally different. Many traditional martial arts that are taught today have forgotten this crude reality. They are underdeveloped. They are insufficient. The old style is the only one that still holds true to this day. Retsu bows. I see. Then what would you have me do? Cancel the fight and step down. Retsu starts to shake. You have no business fighting Miyamoto. I doubt you could beat him even in an unarmed fight, let alone when he's wielding a sword. Even with a machine gun, it would not make a difference. You're going to get yourself killed. I won't tolerate insults from the likes of you. Retsu, come on. Slicing you in half is easy for him. As easy as he'd slice a machine gun or a feather wafting in the air. Well then, if I still decide to go ahead, what would you have me do? You have to surpass me in a battle to the death. Oh goodness, so he needs to fight Motobe first before he gets to Miyamoto? Tokugawa is standing in the middle of the Korakuren arena with the lights on, trying to take in the effect, the feeling of the arena. Tomorrow night, when the change comes, this arena will be filled with a great cheer. It will be filled with a great silence. No. Well, sorry, he said no first. No. It will be filled with a great silence. He has a thought, looks down at the ground and sees blood all over the place. All over the place. Now, clearly a few seconds ago, a few panels ago, I'm actually going to go ahead and go back. There was nothing there. Completely nothing there. And now it's covered in blood. So what happened? Someone screams. Somebody that steps into this arena will be slaughtered when the rules change tomorrow. So is he just having a premonition of what's about to happen? Is all that blood an effect of his imagination? Like Goki walking toward Yujiro and seeing all those obstacles surpass you in a battle to the death? Questions Retsu. And that'll end today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys will leave a comment below answering any questions I might have asked or point out anything I might have missed throughout the video. Please hit the thumbs up, share with your fellow otaku. Please subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, thank you very much. There are playlists in the description for you to catch up to this point or catch up with any of the Baki series that is available to you. I hope you'll hit that bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. Hope to see you next video. And as always,